guys, Kevin Smock with Smock Knives. I want to do a real quick update video. I got the latest version of the Spyderco Smock prototype in my hand. I figured I'd go over it a little bit, give you some updates. The knife design was pretty much the functionality of the SK23 with some of the looks of the SK45, and then add some Spyderco DNA into it and make it into an original design that should stand on its own as a Spyderco Smock collaboration. That's pretty much what we did. So at SHOT Show, they showed the first version of this, and a couple of weeks later, I was able to get my hands on it and test it out for a week or two, take some photographs of it, post them online. I got some feedback from you guys, which I was paying attention and taking notes, and then had a conversation with Spyderco, and there was a couple of minor things that we wanted to tweak on this, and so they started to do some revisions, which probably delayed the launch a little bit. Right now, I'm hearing, and it's just a guess, fall, fourth quarter, somewhere in there. Might be sooner, might be later, but that's kind of where they're thinking it's going to land, and it really just kind of depends on the manufacturing facility that's producing this, which this knife is going to be out of Taiwan. So that's where it's coming from, and it's really just going to depend on how quick they can get the changes done and start moving on production, and nobody really knows that until they start moving. So if I hear a more definitive answer, like if I know what month it's going to drop or something, I will gladly let you guys know. And I apologize for any of you guys that got on the pre-order list for some of the online places that was taking pre-orders, that it got delayed a little bit. But again, there were some changes, minor tweaks that we wanted to do to this to make it even better, and I wanted to make sure you guys enjoyed it. And obviously, like, I do review videos, lots of guys do review videos, so when I'm looking at it, I'm trying to figure out what somebody might say in a review video that they don't like, or a customer might say that they don't like, and I just want to try and get rid of as many of those issues as possible, and I think we got pretty close. So this is the new version. Still works the same as the last version. It is a... and I might have to back my face out of the camera with... I got face detect on this. This is my new setup. This is my Canon M50 and my new mic and my new lights. So we'll see how this works out for videos moving forward. Anyhow, so this is a front flipper. At least I call it a front flipper. Some people say front flipper's up here. But the flipper's right here. So you use that to open it. You can also use the thumb hole on here as well, which is right here to open it. And then to close it, it is a button release compression lock. So you just push this button to release it, and then it closes. So a couple of the updates on this, and I hope the camera is going to focus. We added some chamfering right here on the scale, on the top and the bottom, or the front and the back, however you want to call it, so that you could get your thumb or your finger in here a little bit better to actuate or to use that Spyderco hole. So that was one change. Another change was the pocket clip. And the original pocket clip kind of clipped on and went around the lanyard hole. The problem with that is it made it so that you couldn't flip it around on the front and make it left-hand carry. It just wasn't physically possible. So what we decided to do was to put a standard Spyderco clip on here with the standard hole locations. That way, you know, there's lots of aftermarket clips. So if you don't like this particular clip, you can get a deep carry or whatever you want. It's the same hole pattern that's on a lot of other knives. But by doing this, we're able to flip around and make it left-hand carry, which that was a big request from you guys. Lots of you guys are left-handed and you wanted to be able to carry it, and that's kind of my fault. When I'm doing customs, I only put the holes on one side. If somebody wants a left-handed knife, I completely flip the whole thing over. and I put the button on the other side, I put the clip on the other side, it's just a completely left-handed knife. So I didn't think about doing right hand and left hand carry. That was kind of my fault. So some of the delay in the production of getting these guys shipped out to you guys was part of it, and that's kind of my fault. I'll take the blame for that. So, and then the other thing that that Spyderco wanted to add is a second detent. So the second detent is just so that if you push this button with it closed, the blade's not going to fall out the bottom. You know, it's just not going to drop. It doesn't really change the functionality of it. It doesn't feel any different to me. You know, you flip it, you use the front flipper to flip it open, and then you use the button to close it. Doesn't change anything. One thing also that we did is we made the button a little bit not as tall, not as high as the first prototype that was done. And some guys ask me, you know, like about pushing the button when it's closed. That doesn't do anything. It doesn't open it. It's not an automatic or anything, and it just barely sticks up. When it opens is when the button. Let's see if I can get out of the shot. Is when the button. Okay, so the button pops up when it locks. So the button is higher when it is open, and that's so that then you've got something there to push. So you push it, and you have to push it, like you can't just push it a little tiny bit. It's not going to unlock. So if you accidentally bump this a little bit, the knife's not going to close. You have to push this in the whole way for then the blade to release. So yeah, that's the updates. The extra detent in there so that it doesn't drop when you're pushing it. The chamfers on here so that you can get to the Spyderco hole a little bit better. The pocket clip being reversible, and then they added my logo on there, which wasn't on the first one. So that's pretty much the updates, guys. I will give you the kind of the specs rundown here that they have listed. Closed is 4.5 inches. Weight is 3.7 ounces. This is going to be produced in Taiwan. Overall length is 7.95 inches. Blade steel is CPM S30V. Blade length from the scale the whole way to the tip is 3.45, so it's under 3.5 inches. The blade edge is 2.93, so that is under 3 inches. The thickness is 0.118. Again, it's a compression lock. The handles are carbon fiber over black G10 laminate. And the blade steel is S30V. Hopefully, if this does really well, and if you guys want to see other blade steels, you know, make sure you let Spyderco know. Make sure you let your dealers know. Hit me up. I know a lot of people have talked about S90V, as Blade HQ kind of had it listed as S90V when it first went up, which was just an error. But a lot of guys got excited about S90V. So if it sells really well and I can put some input in there, if there's some blade steels that you guys want to see, put a comment down below, let me know. And if there's any sprint runs or anything that comes up and I can put my input in on what I want to see, I will definitely take your guys' advice into consideration for those requests. And the really cool part about this was Spyderco did their mid-year launch, and they did that at Blade Show. They had some flyers that they sent out, or well, actually they had at the show, some pamphlets, and then they had a digital PDF version that you can go online. I'll see if I can find the link, and I'll put the link down below. That's their mid-year launch, and again, I was in the mid-year launch. That was pretty cool, and also I was on the front cover of the digital version. The one that they handed out at Blade Show was a completely different setup, and so I wasn't on the front cover of that one, which, you know, is fine. but just to be on the front cover of one of them, you know, the digital format, was awesome. I'll see if I can find a picture of that and post that up so that you guys can check that out. But follow the link, go check the whole thing out, because there is a lot of really cool knives in the mid-year launch. There's even other ones that I want besides my own, obviously. But check those out. Find, you know, if you're looking at wanting to pre-order, go to your online stores and see a lot of the different ones. I believe Blade HQ, Knife Center, I believe they've got pre-orders set up. You know, I don't know if it's like $5 or whatever. Street price for this is looking at about $165. I think the MSRP was like $250 or something like that, but the actual street price is around $165, I believe. I love this thing. I've been able to carry this thing around for about a week or so and love it. And now I've got to ship it back to Spyderco, because this is the only version of this that is out there right now. And I got to get it back to them so that they can use it for their meetings. And, you know, if they've got any other shows coming up, they'll need this knife. So I'm sad to see it go, but is what it is. And I hope you guys like it. Tell me what you think down below. Don't be too hard on me. Also, follow, like, subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Go follow me on Instagram. That's it, guys. All right. Thank you. Talk to you later. Bye. Focus. Quit tracking on my face.